Hello and welcome. I'm Carol DeChaine, and I am your intuitive, transformational life and business coach and multidimensional energy lightworker. Today, I want to talk about changing the channel, being in a different place from maybe where you have been in the past. When you come up against something that you bump your head on, or it's just a person you have trouble with that always makes you feel uncomfortable or puts you on edge, or perhaps it's your boss, perhaps it's that relative you only see around Christmas, or a situation that just comes up and you just get this negative stuff that plays in your head, that little devil on your shoulder that says, ah, oh my God, this is going to be awful. So what do? Well, you have the power to change that. You have such a huge amount of power, and most of us don't take advantage of that. We don't realize that that person that's bothering us or that situation does not have the power unless we give it to them. So, what do? Well, we can either give in to those feelings that they're hitting with us, that we're allowing ourselves to react with, or we can change the channel. The bandwidth is different. If you are changing the channel between one frequency and another on TV, you know that if you change the channel, you're going to go from ESPN and maybe all the sports to maybe CNN, the bad news that you don't want to really listen to, perhaps, or some kind of Hallmark show. How is it going to make you feel when you change the channel, depending on what channel you change it to? If you shift yourself and you go, no, I'm reacting angry. I don't like that channel. I'm going to react differently. If you can even take that step back far enough to see that you can do that, you're the awareness, number one. I always say that. Once you're aware that you don't like how you're reacting and it's making you uncomfortable or it's as I say, pissing you off, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be on the angry channel or on the sad channel or on the you hurt me channel. So what do? You pick up your remote and you say, nope, don't like that one. How can I shift? If you've ever had, if you've ever been to the dentist and they give you that little laughing gas stuff, they used to call it that. I'm not sure what they call it now, but you almost feel those emotions draining away from you like they're nothing. Like you gave them the power, and when they gave you the laughing gas, all of a sudden it sort of drains out. At least that was my experience. It drains like all the way down through your toes. And it made me realize that indeed emotions are only emotions that we give power to. If we take away the power, it drains away. We don't have those emotions anymore. So if you can look at it that way, or you can look at it as changing the channel. Whenever you want something different in your emotional makeup and your response to something, you might want to go deep if you have the time to say, okay, what caused that? Why did I react this way? And obviously, that's not for this few minutes of video. Those are things you work on, and you work on habits, and you work on those things that are the buttons that people push. What happened? How come I reacted that way? I got defensive. I got angry. I got perhaps they hurt me, and the question is maybe they didn't mean to. Maybe someone else, they would have said the same thing and they would have laughed because it's your response to it. You have the power to change your response now in this moment, as well as over the long term. For if you see a pattern, oh, I always react to this person this way. What is it about that person? What is it about this situation? Why am I always angry or sad or hurt or take it personally? What is it about where I'm coming from that does that? And it's not blaming yourself. It's taking your power to say, I have the power to change who I am, to change how I react. Because if someone else is there making you react a certain way, they're not really making you react. You're allowing yourself to react to that person. And they are saying, hey, sometimes they say, hey, I don't like you. And you're going, oh my God, I hate him. What's the matter? Or how come? Oh my God. And you take it personally. Or you get angry because you used to be my friend. You abandoned me or you betrayed me. And yet if you look at yourself, you go, maybe you overreacted. If you look back, if you're 5 years from now, 20 years from now, you might go, wow, that was a really close friend. Why did I lock them out of my life? And all of that, it's just because you reacted a certain way. And you have that power inside of you to react any way. You can start one way, which might be your automatic response, and go, oh, where's the remote? I need to change the channel. Maybe that's your momentary thought. Change the remote. Or let's just flick that channel. Oh, okay. Because sometimes all you need to do is listen to someone, let them be in their own place, let them have their own opinion, whether you agree with it or not, and let them have their say so that you hear them. And you can say, I hear you, but that's not where I come from. That's not how I feel about the subject. So I understand. Thank you for telling me all that, because now I can really see where you're coming from. But that's not my reality. That's not how I feel. Sometimes you need to be more neutral. You need to not allow those really big emotions to come into play, because it's just the way you're feeling unsafe in your response to somebody. You're feeling like, oh my God, something's wrong. Something is going to happen to me. If they react that way or they act that way towards me, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this is bad for me. Or else you don't necessarily react. Changing the channel just means allowing yourself to rise above whatever the problem is, to shift how you're reacting, to allow yourself to change that frequency, to change, and maybe it's not the same word, but if you shift your vibration, which is what most people talk about instead of frequency, if you shift that and you shift it up, all of those things that are heavier emotions, those ways that we react to things, the anger, the fear, the oh my gods, the what am I going to do? All of those things sort of just fall away when you raise your vibration up to love or joy, so that you don't need to worry about all those things that you normally would react to, because you take that power away from that other person when you change the channel and you give it back to yourself. Some people don't like that responsibility. They'd rather blame someone else and play the victim. And if that's their reality, let them have it. If you don't want that reality, you have the choice to take your power back and say, it doesn't matter how they treat me. I don't have to act like it. To me, I can cut off ties with that person if it's something that isn't right. I can divorce the person if it's someone I'm married to. I can do a lot of different things in order to protect myself if it feels unsafe. But make sure that when you do take that power and you change the channel, that you are acting from your highest good, from what you want in your life, because you can have that best life that you want, but you can't if you give that power away. If you let everybody else impact your life and then you react accordingly. So all you're doing is reacting to someone. It's like when you're playing tennis. You start out and you lob the ball over, you get it over to them and you serve it. You're taking control of it. They lob it back. And if you're just running willy-nilly all over the place trying to return it, you're just reacting to whatever, and they have the power. If you can stand in your power and shift it and really hit that ball exactly where you want it, then you have the power. You've taken control of your life. This is what I want. This is who I am. And maybe you say, game over. Like I said, this person isn't right for me. I don't want this person in my life. It doesn't matter whether it's your mother, your father, or even your adult child. It's harder with a minor child, of course. But this is how you feel. And looking at what this is for you in your life, don't retreat back to the fear. Don't retreat back to, stand in your power means that you take choices that are for your highest good, choices that empower you, that make you feel like you are strong in that spirit, and not so much strong as in, I'm in a fight with you, but strong as in, I'm almost like you raise yourself above the fray and you go, wow, look at these people and what they're doing. I don't feel that same angst, that same worry, that same fear. And it's not that you're hiding, it's that you've literally risen above it. You've raised your vibration up. So allow yourself to change that channel whenever you feel that emotion coming out or that response to somebody that you really, really aren't appreciating in yourself or in them. And if you're blaming them, realize it's not about them, it's about you. Because otherwise, you have zero power. You're letting them rule what happens to you. It's your choice. Make sure you make the one that's the best for you in this moment. No one else can tell you, only you know. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm Carol DeChaine. By all means, do click on the subscribe button and click the bell notification. If you'd like to hear more, you can listen to Living Your Limitless Life, my podcast, which you'll be able to check around and find on different channels, of course, and the connection for my website if you're interested in life coaching because you want to move your life farther, or business coaching, whether you're someone who wants to be an entrepreneur and it's just a hobby, or someone who is already working but you're hitting a lot of blocks. A lot of times those are emotional blocks. And sometimes you just need someone to help you make a plan. And you need someone outside of where you are because you can't quite see what's the best way to go. And you need someone to help you with that. That's all on the website. I'm also an energy light worker and I help people with their homes and their businesses do space clearing in the energy field area. And of course, intuitive work as well if you want other things, knowing which way to go or what would be the best choice for you. That is also under connecttojoy.com, and that's going to be below the video. Thank you for joining me. And remember that you can change the channel and you can have that power anytime that you want. You just have to be aware and then take those steps because you are already enough to have that joyful, limitless life that you desire. And you can take those steps anytime.